Once upon a time, there was a land of happy physicists. They were happy because they made rapid progress in understanding the world around them. Above all, they were happy because they believed in an intelligible, lawful universe that was entirely open to the human mind, waiting to be discovered. Tragically, this belief turned out to be based on nothing more than naivety and ignorance. One day the physicists began observing the world more carefully, performing more experiments, gathering more facts, and they made the most startling and profound discovery of all time. They discovered that the world is not lawful or intelligible. At the most fundamental level, it is ruled not by causality, but by sheer chance. And this wasn't all. The new experiments prove that the basic constituents of matter don't even exist with specific properties until we observe them. They pop into existence when we measure them. Now, even though these new discoveries were very exciting, the physicists felt sad that their happy predecessors had been wrong. After all, they thought, it would be nice to live in a world of physical things that really existed with definite properties, things that always acted in accordance with their properties. But alas, there is no such world. No matter how much the physicists might wish for it, facts are facts, and the scientific objectivity required them to accept the conclusions that followed from the observations. And the sad truth is that the physical world isn't. It isn't real, it isn't causal, it isn't intelligible. As lovers of truth, the physicists not only had to accept this new discovery, they had to acknowledge it as their crowning achievement and the most profound insight in the history of science. In the end, the physicists all gave each other Nobel Prizes and lived happily ever after. At least they were happy whenever anyone observed them. The rest of the time they remained in an indeterminate state. Now, that is the official history, as presented in thousands of books and lectures today. Nearly every physics professor in the country believes that fairy tale. One could almost say that believing it is a prerequisite for getting a job at a university. So, is it true? Well, you should be suspicious. Consider the claim that the observed facts have refuted identity. That is, refuted the fact that to be is to be something. And that the observations have refuted causality, the fact that an entity's actions are determined by its nature. Now let's say that we doubt this claim. So we ask the quantum physicists, are you saying you've seen an entity without identity? A something that was nothing in particular? And if you have, what did it look like? Well, the physicist concedes he hasn't actually seen such a thing. He knows they exist, but every time he looks at them, they turn into something specific. His act of observation gives them identity, but they were nothing in particular before he looked. And because of this lack of identity, he is forced, against his will, to renounce causality. The actions of an entity cannot be caused by its nature because it hasn't got one. Now, just to give you your money's worth for this course, I've decided to go out on a limb here. I hereby guarantee you that there are not and never will be any observations that cast any doubt on the ideas of identity and causality. Thank you.